Yo, what's going on? What's going on? Listen, it's Keith Everett, Real Estate Diddy. I'm right here at the Simple Sexy Flipping Conference. I gave 10 ways on how to find off-market properties. If you're somebody trying to learn how to use the bank, find private money lenders, and knowing how you can fund the properties, you need to be here.
I would definitely recommend this event to anybody, especially if you're looking to get started in this business, because sometimes you just don't know where to go, and sometimes you don't know how to get started, and sometimes it could be the reverse. You got the motivation, but you don't have the education, or you have the education, you don't have the motivation. So sometimes it's being in certain rooms with certain people that'll kind of uplift you or inspire you or get you moving, get you thinking. But more importantly, this is the kind of room you want to be in, especially if you're a newbie.
What's up? What's up? What?
We really doing this, Ash?
I just said, what's up, bro?
I can't do it like she can.
You can't do it like she can do it?
What's up, Jimmy?
Yo, yo, yo.
Hey, everybody, what's happening?
How are you today?
I am well. I'm in the house.
In the house, in the building.
house,
Let's
in
get
the
it.
house. Let's get comfortable.
Let's get comfortable. I've been comfortable.
Not me. I was sitting.
You was all sitting all tight.
Okay.
Before you get started,
Okay.
This is one of the things you talk about a lot. One day we're gonna do a podcast. One day we're gonna do this. One day we're gonna do this. One day we're gonna, and it's here. We made it happen. It wasn't the easiest thing, and it's probably gonna be some technical difficulties while we're doing this.
So bear with us. It's all good. You know,
do it.
So
progress over perfection.
yes,
Let's start off real quick. Type in the chats. Tell me who's here, who's watching us live right now. Type in the chats. Let me see who's here. And I also want you to share this podcast with anyone that is interested in getting started investing in real estate. They are trying to overcome their fears. They are scared, nervous, don't know what to do, and they just really need some guidance, some help,
some encouragement,
some motivation to get off the sideline, get into the game. I see you, Marcus. Marcus is in the chat. Thank you, Marcus. I see you.
or at least say where they from. You said put their name. Nobody don't want to put their name in the chat.
Y'all send me a hello. Send me a what's up. Marcus said Jimmy is my guy. That's what's up.
What's up?
What's up,
Marcus? How you be?
What's up, you guys?
Mic check. Is the
Can y'all
audio
hear us
good?
well?
Are we
Right.
clear?
Can you hear me now?
Can you hear me?
Can you hear all of us? Shout out to our sponsors before we even get started. Shout out to our sponsors for the Simple Sexy Flipping Conference, Jacob Title, X Flipper, Good and Home Inspections, Dennos Funding. What's up, Nikki? Junk Fathers, New Western, REI Decoded. Shout out to our sponsors. We couldn't do this today if it wasn't for our sponsors. So thank you guys.
Yo.
What's up, Nikki? What's up, Nikki?
You said Nikki twice. Like, what's up, Nikki? What's up?
Tanya, don't
For
do that.
the record, y'all, we are not as formal as y'all probably want us to be. So We are just having a natural
Is
conversation.
there a way to do
Yes.
it? Bit formality? I don't know.
Oh man.
Unless you're
What's up,
striving for
Antoine? What's up,
perfection.
Junk Fathers?
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
No, we just here to make it happen. At any time during this interview, we want you guys to ask questions, preferably to Jimmy. If you got something for us, we're here to answer them also.
We're gonna ask a few questions of our own. But if it's something that you guys are struggling with, you want to know, and it relates to, I was
Real
gonna say
estate,
podcasting,
fears.
real estate.
we can't answer no podcasting
No.
questions. We are rookies on that scene. So, hey, we just here. My name is Antonio Denmark. This is Ashley Denmark. We were just gonna get started, and I didn't tell who we are. We are the owners and operators of the Denmark's brand. We have a coaching program. We have a meetup program. We have funding. We do a lot of different things to help people in this space get off the sideline.
Well, that was well said. Usually you act like you're afraid to talk. That was real good, Tonio.
Man, you on point today.
Right.
I got my hat cut.
Courtesies of the barber, Mr. Jimmy Shallow. All right. So, Jimmy, I want you to introduce yourself. Tell them who you are, what you do, and then we're gonna dive a little deeper.
Cool. Well, for those who don't know me, I'm Jimmy Shallow. They call me Jimmy the Barber. I own Birmingham House of Cuts. Been cutting hair for 30 plus years. I stopped counting at 30, so it was 30 plus. And been in Birmingham for 23 years. And got hooked up. Well, we're gonna talk about that.
All right, so
I'm just your guy. If you need to get fresh like Antonio,
yeah, you that guy. You that
Absolutely.
yes, he is my barber. So therefore I highlight him. I heard you dropped in there to Birmingham. Where are you originally from, Jimmy?
I was born and raised in a small island called St. Vincent and the Grenadines. It's in the British Virgin Islands, Eastern Caribbean, landmark close to St. Lucia, Barbados, south of Trinidad and Tobago. So yeah, I was born and raised in a small island.
And how did you
get here?
What was the vision? What was the thoughts to even leave your home and come to another location?
To be honest with you, man, I never really thought we'd America. If I was gonna go anywhere in my mind, it was gonna be England or Canada. England because we were governed by England, and I wanted to see the architecture and how it was. You know, Canada because it was easy to get to. And the opportunities were endless. You know what I'm saying? So at 21, I started working on the cruise ship. I worked for Royal Caribbean, and then I also did Commodore Cruise Line. And Commodore Cruise Line started sailing out of New Orleans. Then, so I was in New Orleans for quite a while. I met my first wife on a cruise, and I visited Birmingham 3-4 times before I actually ended up staying here. I thought it was a really decent place. It kind of reminded me of home because it's always warm, green. You know, y'all call these mountains, but these are not mountains.
These are mountains.
So yeah, I fell in love in Birmingham in '98, and 2000 I moved here. I've been here since.
Okay.
I did not know you were on the cruise ships.
Yeah,
Come on.
I did Royal Caribbean.
Come on.
Let's go. All right, your turn. Actually, I asked the question. You can ask one now.
Don't do me like that. You know how I am with podcasts. They come when they come now. Don't do me like that. All right. So, new land, new era, new life. You came to America. Then what? You got married?
Got married. Shoot, long short story. Got divorced.
Okay.
When I came here literally when I came to stay, that was April of 2000. Couldn't find a job. My story is I went to Mitchell's Barbershop on 79. They were looking for a barber. And I just decided to apply for the job. I walk in and I told the dude about myself, what I'm trying to do. And he hired me on the spot. Now,
Wow.
mind you, I only had 2 clippers, one and one adjustable clipper. So I told him, give me a couple of days so I can get some clippers.
That was up. That was
Yeah.
up.
Started there. I worked for him for 8 years. Then I opened my first shop in Crestwood in 2008. And I've been in business since then on my own.
Okay. So
he may be not. So somebody said, is he single now?
Oh, this ain't love connection.
No, it's not.
All right.
Let's focus.
We'll focus. All right. So I'm gonna ask one more background question, and then we can kind of move on to another topic. Being from the island, it's the island, right?
Mm-hmm.
Being from the islands, did you grow up rich, poor,
We should
middle?
start with pool first, and we can come.
How did you grow up?
You trying to dance around it? I grew up poor, single parent.
What is poor? Because everybody poor isn't the same. Poor.
Well,
So, like, what is poor?
Poor in the terminology of having things. We had love, we had family, we have the basic stuff we need to survive. Food. I didn't have to go to the grocery store every time you want to cook. There's some
backyard
stuff always there. And most of the time we go to the store. Yeah. Well, we eat a lot of peas.
Peas. Okay.
Yeah.
You sound like my mama.
Yeah, because
because you can grow that easily.
And my auntie.
You can grow peas. I think beans are manufactured. I'm not sure, but the story's gonna come out sooner or later. Anyway, and grew up poor. 3 sisters. I was the only boy, and we had a 2-bedroom house, 1 bath. Well, there wasn't no bath. The shower was outside, and we had an outdoor pot.
The shower was outside.
You heard me correctly.
And you had a
the porterhouse. Yeah, the porterhouse.
So,
yeah. So you think that's pole or pole?
That's pole.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
okay.
That's we had, but we didn't have.
It didn't feel like you needed any of it.
I felt rich because I had love. I had my family,
That's
my
right.
mom, my sisters, and then we had a great. We support each other. We had a good system.
Okay, I'm gonna ask an entrepreneurial question. Have you always been entrepreneur-like? Like, where does that mindset come from? Where did that desire come from?
I didn't know what that word means till I came to America.
Okay, interesting.
I always been my mama. She never worked for nobody. She always. I'm gonna put it like Bishop T.D. Jakes put it, so that way y'all won't think I'm being nasty. She was her only pimp. She was the only hoe. So that means she grew everything. We eat everything we grew, and we sell what we didn't need. So I was always in the business of buying and selling, trading, bartering, doing whatever. So that's where the spirit came from, my mom.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you're in America, new territory, new lifestyle. You're working at a barbershop. What type of fears did you have after those 8 years when you decided it was time to do your own thing?
It was a lot. It was, man.
I just see all that expression over your. Yeah, you said it wasn't a lot. It was like
it is. It was. And to overcome them, because we all
Give me one.
One
Give me one.
is fear was not having credit, not having money. The second fear was not knowing what the hell you're finna get into. That was kind of learn as you go process. Because the guy that I was working with never really took the time out to teach me. And then when I told him I was getting ready to open my own thing, I gave him a 2 weeks notice. The day after I gave him the 2 weeks notice, he told me to come get my shit.
You gotta go.
So never really had like a solid mentor per se. And then I trust God. I literally trust God when I opened up that shop in 2008, Martin Luther King birthday. So I just had, Lord, it's gonna be me and you. Whatever I need, He provided. He's been providing, and He's still providing.
Amen to that.
So
Amen to that.
The fear was not knowing what the hell I was going to get myself into.
But you did.
I
You
did.
did it. You pushed through.
I did.
You could have quit. You could have started.
Tell me about one of them times you quit, Jimmy. I'm sure on this journey, you don't necessarily physically have to quit. You know, some people actually did quit before.
Right.
I ain't gonna say no names.
I have quit.
But mentally quit. Like, tell me about one of them times where it was like, this ain't for me. I can't.
Well, I remember I was sitting in my chair. It was 12 o'clock, and I only had one customer all morning. I was sitting there, Lord. I don't know about this. I was like, well, I'll tell you what. I'm exhausted. I'm overwhelmed. You talk to the Lord just like we talk to each other. Me and him got a thing going on. And I was like, look, if you don't send somebody in the next 30 minutes, if you do, that's going to let me know that you're hearing me. If you don't, I do understand it's time for me to go home, because I was going to go home, like, for that day.
Home, back to the island home?
Home, no, to where I live.
Okay, all right.
I had enough that day. I just wanted to shut it down. Because, you sit there.
How you had enough if you ain't do nothing?
Huh?
You had enough in you.
You had enough thinking that you should do something. So, I was like, man, the lights burning power, water running, ain't no money making. So what am I gonna do? I can call. So it was at a lonely state of my life where friends, the so-called friends actually, when you need them, nobody there. So it just me and the man, and shoot, 25 minutes later, somebody walked in the door.
I guess I'm here for the rest of
that's God. You asked for that.
25, and he didn't even wait till 30. He's 25 minutes later, dude walk in the door. And that dude, I've been cutting his hair since.
Wow. That's amazing. That's amazing.
All right, go.
You got, you get them, you got to let you roll.
So we're walking through this journey. We came from the islands. We started working on the cruise ship. We decided, okay, America is where I want to land. We're in America. We started being a barber. We're a barber. Now we're opening up our own shop, our own barbershop.
Okay.
I wanted to say beauty. Our own barbershop.
What was Barber and Beauty?
Barber and Beauty. It still is. It still is. What happens next?
Well, next, I hired a stylist, and I hired 2 more barbers. And the stylist came 2 weeks after I moved in. The second barber came 3 months after I was there. And then the 4th barber came 5 months, 6 months after I moved in the place. So I knew God was with me, and he's telling me, hey, I got you. Because I was fully staffed before 6 months being in business.
Did you pick up your clientele, or were they picking up enough and you didn't even have to?
Well, when I moved there, I had a lot of clients, and that was my reason for moving. I did my numbers, and I was able to see, okay, I can maintain and sustain a business with the consistency that I've been having over the 8-year period. So they brought their own, and then you're gonna have walk-ins, and then we had one man that didn't have as much to pick up the slack. So and it skyrocketed from there.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna start leaning towards more real estate, but we wanted y'all to get a understanding of who you're talking to, and we wanted you to understand that this is not someone that come from privilege. This is not someone that had a silver spoon in their mouth. This is not someone that even grew up in America
with the same opportunities
that most of us have.
Yeah.
But he's someone that has created a niche and a success for himself. And we just want to highlight that to show you it can be done. All right. So fast forward to the real estate part of things. When did real estate get on your radar, Jimmy? When did it cross your mind? What was those first thoughts like?
Real estate, 10 years ago. Well, I think a little. Well, It's longer than that, actually.
Longer than 10 years.
Yes.
Ooh, okay, talk about it.
So when I left,
What's up, Ramon?
when I left St. Vincent, I had bought an acre of land that I was going to build a house on.
Okay.
Well,
Where was it?
Hmm.
Where was this acre?
Back home.
Okay.
And working on the cruise ship, I was doing good, so I was able to maintain that. But when I moved here, it took me 2 weeks, 2 months, get a job, and then being a barber, you don't go in there cutting everybody up. You got to build that thing,
Mm-hmm.
and that process took a little longer. And wasn't making the money fast enough to send it home to take care of the property. So I picked up the phone one day and I called Mr. Brown. That's his name. I said, Mr. Brown, this is such and such. He said, yeah, I know you. I said, well, I'm not gonna waste your time because he's an attorney. I know you're a busy man. I got this piece of land from you. I could no longer afford to pay for it. And within good grace, I was asking, can you just take it back don't hit me with no fees because I really can't afford it. He said, I tell you what, since you came to me like that, all debts are cleared.
Ooh, come on.
Yeah.
Wow.
Come on.
So he got the property back. I didn't owe him anything else. So that I'm just telling you, this whole transition is a fate move, but every move I make, I just know God is right there. He's there. He's just telling me, I got you. I got you. And I'm on this thing about speaking things now, because every time I speak something, I see it come to pass. So I'm like, I'm start speaking.
Ooh.
I'm start speaking.
Okay. So you had a piece of land 10 years ago. Time goes by.
They're longer than 10.
Longer than 10. You had a piece of land. Some time go by. You don't do anything else in that real estate world.
Mm-hmm.
Then you get introduced to the Denmarks. How did you get introduced to the Denmarks?
Ooh.
And kind of tell me, what was that like?
Well, being a barber, we serve and deal with all types of people, all walks of life. And the interest in real estate, like here in the States, came deeper when I started seeing, especially when we got a hold of the internet and Facebook, and people start saying how much money they made doing this, doing that. And I started studying it. The wealthiest of America, at some point in time, accumulated their wealth or some of their wealth from real estate.
Right.
And I told God I want to be the richest family member in my family. I want to be a millionaire. So he said, well, you got to find avenues. And I said, I'm going to choose real estate. That's when I started talking to my clients and said, hey, do you know somebody who I can learn from? Because I kind of wanted the cheat code.
Absolutely.
I didn't want to pay all that money for them conferences that you go into. And then when you get there, they don't want you to buy a damn book. I don't like to read. That's 100.
Okay.
So I said, you know what? Taria. I met Taria when she was managing those apartments on Highway 11 in Trussville. She the first person told me about the Denmarks. I was talking to her about my dreams and my visions, what I'm trying to do. She said, I know who you can talk to. You need to go see the Denmarks. I said, who? The Denmarks. I said, okay. So now I didn't, jump right on that because I'm going to let things sit a little bit before.
It's understandable.
And I was talking. My air conditioner man, what's his name?
Mr. Smith, Janice's husband.
Mr. Smith.
Okay.
Shout out to Janice and her husband.
I was talking to him about it. And he was like, my wife knows somebody you can talk to. He called her right there on the phone and she told him, you need to go see the Denmarks. And that's when I made my decision. That's when I made my decision and I'm going to choose the Denmarks to be my mentors. And once I kind of know what I want to do, but shoot, the options, man, is beyond what I was even imagining. I think you gotta go to traditional. Well, I think I'm going to deep too fast.
Oh, no. So all right. We're gonna get there to the different methods and your strategies. But let me tell you what I first met Jimmy. I first met Jimmy at our first conference.
Well, no, we talked to him on the phone first. And we told him he told us what he was interested in, and we told him you should come to the conference. This was probably about a week before the conference.
Okay.
You should come to the conference. We had never seen him before. When the decal picture went out, we was like, "Who is that?"
We were trying to figure it out.
That's the guy Jimmy that we talked to from Taria. We called her Teddy Bear Lady.
Mm-hmm.
Teddy Bear Lady. So conference is where we met him.
Okay.
But I think Jimmy introduced himself to you at the conference because I don't even think we thought about it.
I met him the Friday night.
At the meeting.
At the meeting group.
Okay.
So that was my first time meeting him. And he came and introduced himself and we talked. It was like, I'm gonna say it was strange, but it wasn't a normal, I don't know how to word this.
Conversation.
It wasn't a normal conversation. It was like boom, boom, boom. It was like he was asking straight to the point questions.
Like he had already been studying.
Yeah, like he had already been doing some things. It was like interesting. Like most people don't ask them type of questions when they first meet me or talk to me for the first time. So it was interesting. So that's how he stuck out to me, and I remembered him from there.
And then he started to become your barber.
Then he started to become my barber. So tell me about the conference, Jimmy. You came to the very first one we did in January of 2022. 23. Mm-hmm. 23, yeah, 23. So you came to our first one. Tell me one or two things you got from the conference.
Yeah, I can tell you 10 though. If you want.
One or two.
One or two. One. I think the part that really stuck out to me is the amount of information y'all give for the price. That's like, wow. You know, we use the terminology jewels all the time.
Uh-huh.
The amount of jewels that was in the room, like literally all the time. I mean, every speaker had, I was like, that's it. I was looking up that. Okay. That's it. Yeah, the information, man, is galore. It's a lot of information. And sometimes it's so much information, you can get a headache.
Your brain started to.
You know? But it's I must say it's mind-boggling. It challenges you to, you know, get up. And you said this all the time. Get off the side.
Get off the side.
And that just keep it like playing in my head every time I think about real estate. Get off the sideline. Get off the sideline. Get in the game.
Get in.
If anybody's watching and you come to one of our conferences, because we've done 2 so far, give me some hearts or give me some fires or give me something in the chat to let people know that we ain't just having a conference by ourselves. And it's actually other people that come to these conferences.
OMG. And to talk about what you said, like we literally tell all of our guests, all of our speakers, we don't want you holding back nothing. Like this is not the type of event where you have to hold things. If you're gonna hold it in, if you feel like don't even come. Don't even say that you're gonna be a guest. Like we need you to pour into our people. We need you to give your all because we're giving our all. So we need you to give your all.
Y'all could attest to this. Y'all have been to so many different conferences and whatever you want to call it.
Seminars
and pay all this money and then the speaker get up there and give you 10 minutes a game, and then the rest he wants you to buy that damn book outside there. He got
So a part of our foundation, and I say give a shout out to Brian Tripp. We believe in collaboration over competition. We believe in not necessarily selling something every time you talk. So our speakers basically have 2 mandates. The first mandate is give it all to them. We're not holding nothing back. We're not in the time frame you have. Give it all to them. Yeah. We're not leaving clues. We're not dropping crumbs. The second thing is don't steal nobody nothing from the stage.
Right. Yeah.
That's our only 2 things that we have for our speakers. And our speakers, we love them because they have the same hearts and desires that we have. So the people that you meet at our conference, our speakers, they are here to help first.
Yeah, I think y'all pick them well.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Seriously, I think y'all pick them well. And then my next thing.
All right. Second thing.
The second thing that I take from these conferences, because I know there's going to be numerous, a lot more to come, is the idea that the how you put it, Miss Ashley? It's in the room.
The magic is in the room.
I mean, you have to literally. And people think I talk a lot. I do around my chair, but I'm kind of like I'm not a social bug. I don't know if I'm drunk, yeah, maybe. But naturally, I like to observe. I like to observe. I speak to you, but I like to observe and see what's going on. But man, literally, the magic in the room. You never know who you're gonna be talking to. And I had that experience on our last REA Live with the deal I had. I mean, so many people came up to me. I was like, hey.
All right, so let's talk about that. I want to. Jimmy came to us and he was like, you know, I want to start investing in real estate. I really don't know how to get started. I don't know what to do. I'm scared as heck.
I ain't got no money.
I ain't got no money.
I ain't got no money.
I ain't got no money. I don't have any money to invest, but I know that I am called to invest. I just don't know exactly how to do it. First thing Tonio did was tell him to do what? You remember what first thing Tonio told you to do?
Try to find somebody who got good credit or partner with.
To partner with someone. Did he tell you how to find a partner?
He didn't.
He did. He told you to
gave
put
me
that sign up.
Well, that sign in the barbershop, yeah, but before that, I think, and one thing y'all do as well, and you do it well without not even letting us know you're doing it, is challenging us to, hey, you gotta have some kind of skin in the game.
You gotta do something.
You know, you don't really say it till you say it, but your actions, you need enough. You may say, hey, go call this person or send this email. I'm like, huh? I'm not savvy, but okay, yes. But then you be like, look, you gotta have a skin in the game. You gotta do something.
You gotta do something because it's not gonna just come to you overnight.
Yeah, he said, hey, put up a sign in the barbershop. Said Jimmy buys houses. Call me, and I did exactly what he said.
So what I'll say is the first thing for people who are listening to this, and funds is a challenge.
Yeah,
the very first thing I tell you to do is
it's not.
okay.
If funds is a challenge, start talking to people and start telling them what your visions are, what your dreams are, and open your mouth and tell them what you're trying to do.
Absolutely. I like this. I say this a lot. Money is all around us. We have not, because we have not asked, we have not told people what it is that we're doing, what it is that we're trying to accomplish. And if people don't know that you're an investor or that you're an aspiring investor, if people don't know what it is that you do, they can't help you. They can't lead you. You asked Taria, is there anybody I can learn how to invest in real estate to? Right. Had you not opened your mouth, Taria would have never said the Denmarks. Had you not told Mr. Smith, he would have never said the Denmarks. Had you have never told Antonio, okay, I need some money. I need to find some money. He would have not helped you with identifying that there's money all around you.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I gave him a challenge,
a homework,
and I said you need to go find somebody that has either one or two things. They either have some money, whether that's cash, whether that's a 401k, they got access to some money, or you need to find somebody that got good credit. Mm-hmm. And he was looking at me like I was talking French.
Mr. Denmark, I can't do that.
He like, man, nobody in my family, like, they don't got that stuff.
Broke.
They like, man, my people broke, man. I'm like, just trust me. Everybody that come through your chair, everybody you come in contact with, have money conversations, have credit conversations. And it's going to be uncomfortable. Your stomach gonna bubble up having them conversations. Mm-hmm. You're not gonna have all the answers, but the more you have those conversations, the more comfortable you get, the more those butterflies go away.
That's proven. That's a proven fact. I'm like, literally, the first two conversations about, hey, you want to invest in real estate? What's your credit score? You know, that's the kind of, in our culture, black mm-hmm. people, mm-hmm. I want to tell them about my credit score. That ain't none of your business. So after I start talking to like the clients, the ones that And then you overestimate people because they may not look like they got it, but you'd be surprised, man, who got 700 plus credit score. And I thought about that thing. And I asked my godfather.
Ooh.
I said, hey, man, I want to get in real estate. He said, for real? He said, son, I'm down with you. I was like, what? It was that easy? I said, well, what's your credit score? He said, I'm 823. I said, well, look at God.
Look at God. So how many roughly, you probably every one, but how many conversations
Did you have?
before you actually before the light bulb went off and said,
I should ask my God.
I should ask my God.
Probably about 10.
Ooh.
I had, and if Godfather wasn't going to do it, there was a plan B and a C. Because I had my, like you had your A, B plus C contractors. I had my A person, which is Godfather. I had my B dude, and then my C person. And when he said he got 823, I'm like, that's all we need, right?
That's all we need. That's all we need. That is all we need.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's
so
all we need.
we went through this journey. We have come to the conference. I remember like it was yesterday, Jimmy was sitting down outside the property walkthrough, and he was sitting on the steps, and he looked at me, and he looked me dead in my eyes. He said, man, you'll be my mentor. And it's like he has, as you can see, he has a strong voice and a strong command when he talks. And I'm looking at this man like, I think this man might be crazy. but
is serious.
He truly, when he said it though, he said it with conviction and confidence, like, I'm gonna make this happen. So we done talked to God Daddy. We done got some, we done found somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Now the next step is, hey, let's bring them back to the demarcs and let's have a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
God Daddy tough, y'all.
Yes, he is.
Hey, listen to me.
Yes, he
God
is.
Daddy tough. So we talked to God Daddy. We kind of
I talked to God
he
Daddy.
actually talked to God
And
Daddy.
he want me out.
So God Daddy, like, it's too good what y'all talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So
I
God
need to see you in
Daddy,
action.
God Daddy comes to our property walkthrough. We got a property walkthrough first Wednesday.
We actually have one on Wednesday in 2 days. We have a property walkthrough coming up. It's not in there.
Yeah. So God Daddy comes to the property walkthrough, and man, he is drilling us, y'all. Like, he asking questions, and like everything he asked, we got an answer. And then, like, he didn't know I seen him, but he's talking to different people. He's questioning them, he's asking them, and he's trying to get a vibe. He's trying to get a vibe for what's going on, because we had a room with 30 plus people in that property walkthrough.
Those were two of our students that did that. They were showcasing.
And that's what he told me. He said, look, I'm going to this thing with you, but I want to talk to people who is in the program.
Because you talking about them, but I need to know.
I don't want to talk to Denmarks. He said, I want to talk to people who are at least 5. I said, you doing an interview? He said, I want to talk to at least 5 people who are in the program, who is doing it or who has done it, to get some kind of background about you guys. I was like, but just go straight to them and ask them about themselves. They'll tell you. He said, no, I'm gonna go around that thing. And he did just
which is fine. Which is fine. All right. So we meet God Daddy. We talk to God Daddy again after the walkthrough. Mm-hmm. And he's in.
Yeah. And then he comes to the conference.
So one of the things that we also tell you is, if you are trying to look for a partner, you're looking for somebody to invest with you, and you don't have the funds, invest in coming to the conference and bringing that person. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Whoever you think is going to be that investor, whoever you think is going to be a potential partner in your real estate journey, bring them to the conference. Because when you bring them to the conference,
or even the REM,
anyone, but get them around like-minded people.
Yes.
Get them around people who are doing what they're trying to do, who have done what they're trying to do, and who have experience to help them navigate and show them that it's real.
Yeah. So comes to the conference. I think it's so important, just to tag on what you just said. When you bring them to the conference, you're also learning together. So you're not going back with this aha moment, this sudden insight or revelation of how I can do things, how I can move. Okay, now I got a strategy. I got a game plan to really hit the ground running. and then you're trying to go back and explain it to them because you can't explain it. You can't even regurgitate everything that you learned.
You can't.
So if you guys go together and you're learning together, now you're reminding each other, okay, well, I heard this part. Oh yeah, I forgot about that part. Yeah, we could implement that. Now your plan is so much stronger because you're learning together. You're going back over the information you learned and you're literally putting together a plan after the conference versus, okay, you go and then come tell me. That never works.
And especially not one of our conferences.
Well, we tried that with the REM.
Like,
he was like, tell me how did it go? And he called me right after 8 o'clock. Hey, how did it go? I'm like, man, shit, I'm tired. I don't want to talk.
You got to get in the room.
You have to get in the room.
Our goal is to overload you with information.
Yeah.
We feel like we overload you with information, you will be paralyzed almost, and it will send you down journeys that you did not know existed.
And open up your mind to opportunities that you didn't even think about was available to you. But it's only until you get exposure to it, it's only until you get in those rooms because the magic is in the room.
Can I say this?
Go ahead.
Say whatever you want to say, Jim.
So, after coming to REI's property walkthroughs, conferences, I've seen a couple of people who think they know it all. And then, a lot of time when, I don't know if you grew up when the teacher said, forget about what you learned. Just open your mind. And I heard y'all say that. I'd be like, so there are certain people who always raising their hand, think they know everything. And then you'd be like, no, that's not how that works. Oh, he got up. That's the thing. You just forget about what you think you know. Because I've learned that in this day and time, man, technology is way different. The way we used to do things are different. You don't have to have a 3.5 down payment or 20% down payment anymore to do anything. And that's that's the takeaway I got from all this. There are different ways, and the strategies y'all got, man, it's unheard of.
We're gonna get to those strategy is amazing. So don't leave, y'all.
It's very
by the end of this podcast, we're gonna tell you how Jimmy has structured his very first deal using OPM.
Other people's money.
And that's other people's money. So we attacked his funding issue from two angles. All right. So the first angle that we attacked it from was with the credit.
Getting a partner.
Getting a partner. Partner had credit. So now we are going to go and get business funding. We're not going to get too deep into business funding. Only thing I'm going to say is, and we'll probably do another podcast about it, but we set Jimmy and Mrs. Jerome up with a AIDS corporation. If you don't know what an AIDS corporation is, that is a seasoned LLC.
Oh, Tony.
Hey, listen, this is your podcast.
So you can't give them that without telling them that was Jerome's idea.
Okay, talk to him.
What's the Mexican guy named
Eduardo. Shout out to
Eduardo, man. You convinced my man that's the way to go.
Eduardo was our speaker at the August conference on Business Monday.
He was excited before. So at the end of the car, I was looking for him. He gone. He told me he rolled with me, so he couldn't leave. He was up there trying to sign up to buy into something. And I'm like, what the hell? So that's how you come in the conference and don't have a negative mindset. Be open-minded because you never know what can happen. He went in there apparently open-minded, but he just wanted to see. After Eduardo got up there and spoke, he's like, we need to get on this Edge Corporation thing. This is where it's at. He went up there and bought some $5,000. I'm like, I don't know what it was. But he was sold.
But it was the information. Our goal is to give you information that you don't necessarily have complete access to. You got some access to it, but to ask questions and get understanding.
Yeah, because you can do it on your own.
Yes.
Absolutely, you can do it on your own. I think the internet has more than enough information for you. But
it'll take you forever.
You might spin your wheels a little. Your goal could have been probably 30 days, and it may take you 2 years, 10 years.
I tried
10 years.
10 years.
Or you can be a part of a community that's gonna help you expedite it it's all up to you.
Okay, so we got an age court. Now we go up for funding.
Now we're going to business funding.
We're still in business funding, but the only thing I'm gonna say is we've got one approval so far. Correct, Jimmy?
3.
We've got 3 approvals so far.
Well, come on, because I only know about one.
Well, I don't know about one too. So what was the first approval, Jimmy?
Okay.
The first approval was Chase.
Chase. What did they give you? What did they give you and Mr. Jerome?
100.
100 what? $100?
100 pennies?
100K.
100. First approval? You gotta give me a whistle, a bell, or something.
Get a bell.
Man. So you invested into an age corporation, and your first approval was 100K.
Yep.
So let me ask you this, because I know age corporations cost a lot of money. And when I say a lot of money, let's really talk about it. Does it really cost a lot of money? If you invested, let's say $5,000 to get that age corporation, most people are like, $5,000 to get business funding.
Well, most people don't know what an age corporation is or what it is.
Ooh, come on, break it down.
I ain't gonna get too deep.
Don't get too deep. Don't get too deep.
Okay.
Because I mean, I'm giving you a free game. You can pay for it. But like I did, come on in.
No, hey, look,
Give it to him.
Give it to him. Give it to him. Give it to him. Give it to him.
Well,
that's what we're about.
Age Corporation is an existing business for a long period of time that has a good history with the taxes filing, et cetera, et cetera. You can use that corporation and go get funded and have not a whole lot of issue of getting pre-approved.
And so a lot of times we try to get funding and we'll create a new LLC and try to go get funding.
It ain't old enough.
And it's not old enough. It ain't got enough age, ain't got enough hours. Like I said, you ain't got enough hours in the business. So you got enough age, or you don't have enough credit. Like it's so many different intricacies.
Let me tell you how that works. Because in my work,
Mm-hmm.
I've had LLCs for years. Like I said, 2008
Mm-hmm.
to 2020.
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to get funding from the bank. Time I go, money in line, credit in line, payment history in line, taxes, everything was done like it was supposed to, because I was working on this to get funded to buy this.
How long it took you was working on it? How long was that work?
How many years did I say? 20? 12 years.
12 years.
And
Come here, son.
you know, so they tell you the bank will say 2 years with good standing, meaning, you know, if you file your taxes properly, you in putting money in the bank and what, man, that's a lot. They tell you all that. I can maybe for the wife, but not for me. And they keep it 100.
Well, and I think the other part that a lot of people don't know, because I don't think they're not even looking to see who it is and how it is. I think the knowledge behind it. You think that you set up a good business entity, but you really don't know that you got a high risk business entity. Right. So they really not funding you because you high risk. It look like you smuggling in money based on
your name,
the name of it. Yeah. Like,
but barbershops are hard. Barbershop salons, nail shops, but
tire shops, trucking, real estate.
They ask you to do the right thing, and you do the right thing, and you're still not gonna get funded because I've been told no by 8 banks. I'm like, so I started questioning after the 5th one. I'm like, okay, why? Well, sir, you know, your stuff is in place. Your credit is good. We see you doing numbers. You're doing the numbers. I'm like, so why you can't fund me? Well, at this point in time, the bank don't have an appetite for such loan. What? You have to have an appetite for a certain type of loan?
They got to be a lending product.
You know, well, you know, that's above my pay raise, but I just wanted the money. But yeah.
Okay. All right. So what about the other 2 approvals? I ain't heard about them yet. Tell me what was the other 2 approvals?
So you don't know about the PNC because it's still, we got to go in and talk to the guy.
Okay.
Structure. How much?
You got to have a pre-approval amount?
No. Okay. Because he got different
options.
Different options.
Okay.
We have that, and then we got Truist.
Okay.
Truist, Right now, we at 10 starting out, 10K,
Okay.
Okay.
but I don't want no $10,000.
Mhm.
Give me the
Y'all hear
10,000.
that? Y'all hear that? What would your business look like if you could say, man, I don't want $10,000. That can't.
What would your business look like if you got $100,000 in funding in 30 days? Like 100,000 in 30 days. What does your business look like?
Ain't one even
Like-
30 days.
One of these
Right.
30 days. Okay. All right. So now let's get to the deal at hand. All right. So Jimmy joins.
All right, what's up? What's up? What's up? Part two.
We're back. We're back. We're back.
We did
Hey.
tell you it's gonna be some technical.
Warn y'all, might be some technical difficulties, but we on point now.
Thank you
We're
for
back. We're
staying
back.
on.
Let's
So
go.
let's tell them real quick what happened. So what happened was the laptop died in the middle of the live as we were getting to the good part.
But it warned us that it had 10%, and then 10 seconds later, it died.
What's up, Trish? What's up, Beasley?
Trish B's in the building. All right,
Hello.
so Jimmy joins the program. You officially joined the program after the second conference. When
Yeah.
did you get access to Pro? Was that
After the second conference.
August, September?
August.
August.
The end of August.
End of August. So from the end of August, Jimmy gets into his material and he goes to work, and we're working on funding and we're doing different things and he's learning. And an opportunity comes your way. Tell us about the opportunity, about the property. How does it come? How do you handle it?
Well, the sign that you told me to make, Jimmy buys houses, and I have it posted in the shop. One of my longtime clients is moving to Atlanta. He's a chef, and he approached me. He said, "Hey, I'm getting ready to move out of town." I said, "Again?" Because last time he moved to South Carolina, he went to further his education. Then he moved back. Now, couldn't find a good job here that wants to pay him what he wants. So Atlanta came up on the radar, and he said, "Man, I'm taking this opportunity." I said, "Why not? You and your wife, y'all having a children, go." So, like, I'm selling my spot. I see you buy the houses. I said, "Well, let's talk." Put in an offer. There was 3 offers that was accepted by them. Mine's being number 3 because I came a little lower. Add in the risk factors. Then the other 2, the first one it fell through, long story short. And Mr. Denmark, I thought the deal was done. He was like, "Why don't you do a follow-up call?" I said, "A follow-up call?" I thought, once it's done, it's done. I said, "Okay." I called him that Friday, as soon as you told me to call him. That Tuesday, he was like, "Yeah, the deal is still good. You know, everything is going. We're supposed to be closing next week." He called me back that Tuesday or Wednesday, I think. He said, "Hey," I thought he was gonna call and say, "Hey, we
Close.
thank you for inquiring. Everything went well." He said, "Man, you still interested in that property?" I was like, "Yeah." So I was like, "Well, shoot." I was in the middle of a cut and I didn't want to talk business over my client's head. I said, "I'll call you later. Me and you and the wife would do a call later." Call him and we got to talking. We got to a number where it's comfortable between each party. And right then and there, I locked in a verbal contract. I want it. So I feel crazy, y'all. I told them folks I want to buy the property. I ain't even had no money.
Jimmy done locked it up under contract.
I locked a verbal contract in with no money.
So this, and keep in mind, this is before we got the funding.
Yeah.
So we going through, but we ain't got no approvals. We ain't got nothing yet.
Nothing.
We gonna lock the property up.
I trusted that it's gonna work out, and one way or the other, I did. I was like, man, Lord, this came back around the second time for a reason. You know what I'm saying? So
And honestly, I didn't even know how this was gonna work out. I just knew that my job was to keep pushing you, to keep helping you do it. But I didn't know how it was gonna happen or transpire. It was just like, okay, well, you got under contract. Okay, these are your next steps. Let's do these next steps.
The one thing I want to highlight before we go too far is throughout Jimmy's story, he gets instructions and he follows.
And he executes.
He executes, y'all. That's one of the biggest things that I want to say about Jimmy's story is he's not going and doing half of the information
Or giving excuses on how it's impossible.
I can't do this. I got a barbershop. I can't put that type of sign up. I'm afraid to talk to people about houses. I don't got no money. It was Jimmy do this, Jimmy goes and execute that.
Yeah.
So understand that you guys, and I made this post the other day, a lot of times you want success and you want to be great and you want these things, but are you committed? Are you doing everything that you need to do to make it happen and not blaming it on other people? A lot of times you got to look in the mirror and hold yourself accountable and say, am I executing?
Right.
Am I doing everything in my power to make this happen?
Right.
Preach.
And so Jimmy follows through. He executes. What kind of fear? Obviously, the fear of not having money was major. Any other fears that you had?
No, that was it. Because I done did a property walkthrough. I went and did my scope of work. I had my B and C contractor came by and gave me an estimate. So I knew in my mind, this is mine. I'm gonna do this. It's just the fair now. As time get closer, they give me a crunch line. They say, "Hey, can you close on November? Was it 18, 20?" I thought, nope, I can't do it. So I was like, I'm gonna need some time.
He needed some time because he
needed
some
time.
money.
He had no money.
So they said, well, what about December 1st? I said, yeah, we're gonna shoot for December 1st. Still ain't got no money, still don't know. Then Mark said, create a flyer. Make a flyer, get some pictures on it, the address, just do a little bylaw or what you offer in, etc., etc. I said, for real? You're not questioning.
Hold that.
That's a message right there.
Hold that thought right there. Keep in mind, this man don't got a computer, y'all.
Nope.
So when I told this man to make a flyer,
he was like,
I only
had a day. He only had a day to do it.
But it was a Monday we had this conversation.
At the end of the day on Monday to get done by Tuesday.
He like, hey, he did not make an excuse. He started thinking. He started making phone calls.
He was thinking, who could I have to help me get this done? And let me make sure that I'm able to communicate to them exactly what needs to be on this flyer. So I think a lot of times, and let's talk about excuses and fears, because your fear is, okay, I don't deal with electronics like that. I can't do that on my own.
Right. But I didn't let that overcome the vision that I had.
Mm-hmm.
I get fair sometimes because, like, look, I'm gonna tell you straight up. If you know me, I don't know nothing about no damn computer. I am probably one of the most illiterate computer person that I'm proud to say it too. Man, don't be mad at me. But I believe in dedicating. I'm good at dedicating, like getting whatever be paying you to get it done or having you do it for a favor, whichever, bartering. I'm cool with all that. But I know if I need to get something done, I'm gonna find a way.
Absolutely.
So when they say create a flyer, I get to thinking, and I made a couple calls. We got it done, but it still wasn't good enough. So
it wasn't perfect, but
and it doesn't have to ever be
Right.
perfect. I think
it will never be perfect.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be perfect. I am a purpose. I love it to be perfection. Progress over perfection. Get it done, because when you're searching for perfection, you don't even have enough knowledge for perfection at that point.
Nope.
Like perfection comes after you've done it a few times. You've done it 20, 30, 40 times, then you can perfect it because you got hours in it. But if you're doing it for the first time, you got to do it. Like the more you get out, that's when perfection
Yeah,
comes.
just do it.
Just do it.
Totally agree. All right, so we made the flyer. We come to REI Live, and at REI Live is our meetup. We meet every third Tuesday
Every
of the
third
month
Tuesday
at the
of each
Vulcan. If you want to get around like-minded people, that's a good place to come also. But we come to REI Live, and at REI Live, we have a section where if you have a deal, you can tell the group about your deal. So I say, Jimmy, make the flyer, and we have a deal section. Raise your hand and tell the group about this deal. Now I can tell he looking at me like,
that's not what I want to do.
and he came back and he asked another question. Jimmy, instructions are the same. Make the flyer. When we have the deal section, just get up and say you got a deal. If nobody comes, we try. All right. So how you got up, Jimmy? You told everybody about the deal. Okay. All right.
No, because when he got up and then I walked over and he said, well, I don't know if this is a deal or not. I'm like, slow your roll. We gonna need to talk it into existence. It's the deal.
Yeah.
Now tell us about this deal.
Well, this is the same deal with my client that moved to Atlanta. So it's a 2-bedroom, 1.5 bath condominium in Homewood. You rare you find your first deal in that type of neighborhood.
Right.
I wasn't even expecting my first deal to be a condo. I wanted to fix and flip. But I believe in opportunities. And I believe in being there in position when they come. I've missed so many over the years with fear and not knowing how to get the money to do certain things. I do like, nah, not right now. Not right now. So
you tell the group about the
deal. You got your flyer.
Well, I did. When it was time for deal time, I had 5 flyers. And I had about 8 people walked over there, wanted a flyer.
You didn't even have enough.
I had enough.
That's a good feeling.
Took pictures. I'm gonna call you. And that same night, after they already had left, when we got done, I took some people to see the property because they were so interested.
I didn't know that, Jimmy.
Yeah,
the after party was the walk.
The
walkthrough.
at Jimmy.
Come on.
Part of y'all.
I did not.
Yeah, I took what's the nurse? What's her name?
The Brashers.
Yeah, I took them by there, and Tyler was looking for me, but I was already gone. So I had 1, 2, 5 people that were interested in the deal that night.
Yeah. Wow, amazing. So another thing, find the deal, add value, y'all. If you are struggling to get to that next level, you're struggling to turn that corner, add value. Find ways that you can add value to people and not look for anything in return. That's the secret. That's the sauce. Be willing to help. Be willing to do whatever you need to do to bless somebody. And if you bless enough people, your blessings gonna come. We are living examples of it.
Absolutely.
Bless enough people, your blessing gonna come. So the biggest thing that we told Jimmy was find a deal, find a way to add value to somebody, but you're adding value to the person you're buying the house from. You're adding value to the person that's investing. Yes, you are going to get benefits, but it came with how can I help somebody? How can I bless somebody? So keep those things in mind when you're out here searching and doing what you want to do in this real estate world. Don't lead with profit. Lead with helping people. Lead with adding value. So right now, we have 4 people interested. We end up with 2 people. All right. Kind of tell us.
Impossible. The 2 people in the possible is what we ended up with.
I'm at the end.
Okay, 2
Yeah.
people.
So tell us, how did you structure this deal with these 2 people?
Well, initially your advice to me was if I can find one person who have because the property is $70K, to purchase. The rehab is $6,000. I was gonna do that all by myself, but I needed a partner either for 35 split or 70, all in 70. Potentially had a 70, but they're still thinking about it. But I didn't have time because the deadline is Friday. I have to close by Friday. They're not going to extend this thing no further out. And by right, they have the right to choose or not to. So I found 2 people who want to do a 35 split. I'm offering 12% to the duration of the loan. It's going to be a 4-month period. Refi, pay that off, and everybody be happily ever after.
Happily ever after.
So how much are you investing in this deal?
Out of my pocket?
Out of your pocket.
Just to rehab, maybe $4,500.
So to purchase it,
Nothing.
zero.
Closing costs rolled into the borrowed money.
Insurance rolled in.
So and keep in mind that potentially that 45 come from business funding also. So it's all about being around the right people, being in the right rooms. One thing I would say is the 2 borrowers the 2 lenders that Jimmy have are a part of our ex-Clipper family. So understand that being connected to the right people means a lot.
Yeah, it has its perk.
Without being connected to the REI Live family, without being connected to the ex-Clipper family, those lenders don't feel comfortable lending on that deal. It might have to be a lot more interest. It might be a lot more work. But understand that you got to get in the right circle with the right people that can help you overcome your obstacles and your fears.
Because the things that you consider to be obstacles, the things that you consider like, oh, I can't do it, these are hurdles that I can't jump. Somebody else has done it. Somebody else has accomplished what you're trying to do. But again, if you're holding it in, if you're not talking, if you're not telling people what it is that you're interested in doing, what it is that you're doing, a deal that you have and you need funding with, nobody can fund it. So it was so important for Jimmy to figure out who's going to do this flyer. Who can I get to do this flyer to me? And not saying, well, I don't use computers. I don't have a computer. The only thing I have is my phone and I can't do it physically. Yeah, you can't do it physically, but it's not all about you doing it. It's the who, not the how. So not him trying to figure out how can I do it. Who can I get to help me with this that will do a good enough job?
Right.
So finding out who can help you.
Afraid to ask.
And don't be afraid to ask.
And because of your background, Jimmy, and at that time growing up, you didn't understand what you was learning. But there is a book called Who Not How. Mm-hmm. And your upbringing is a definition of it. You don't have to figure everything out. You don't have to always know the intricacies of what's going on.
Right.
Ask yourself, who can help me get to this point faster? Not how do I do it all the time. Mm-hmm. And if you start asking yourself, who can help me, your learning curve,
immediately.
What's the word I'm looking for? Your productivity will drastically increase because you're doing more because you're connecting to the right people.
Mm-hmm. You're not wasting time.
All right. So I got one last question.
Go ahead.
All right. My question to you, Jimmy, is if there's someone watching this podcast and they've been thinking about doing real estate for 10 plus years, they've been on the sideline, they've had some things happen in their life. We didn't even talk about divorce. Life have been lifing, and they're just scared. What would you tell that man or woman if you had to look them in the eye and they're like, I'm just afraid to do it, Jimmy.
I can't do it.
I can't do it, Jimmy.
Well, can't is not a word I use. And I don't think anyone should, because all things are possible to them that believe. You gotta believe. Faith and belief come the same. Put in some work, have conversation, trust people, but most of all, get around like-minded people. I mean, like I said, I've been searching for a mentor or somebody who know this side of real estate, or know about real estate. I've met a lot of people. I got a lot of clients who rent houses, and they're like, man, I'm tired. You don't want to do that. And that's what you're hearing. You don't want to do that. This thing here, man. That's what get on your nerve. They tear up your property. They don't pay. I got to put them out. And then the law is for tenants. You can't just go and evict somebody out your property. It's a procedure, it's a protocol. And that's what I've been hearing, the negative. But going to these REL Lives or these conferences and talking to people and getting in the room where the magic happens.
The magic is in the room,
And,
baby.
I've overcome all fear. That's why I told you. When that dude told me the property is available, I had no fear, I was just like, I want it. Verbally, I told him I want it. I said, send me the papers. And then they got an agent, send the agent. And the rest was history. So do it scared.
Do it scared. Do it. I think
do it scared.
Miss Adrian might have cloned that one.
Right.
We might have traded that one, Miss Adrian. Do it scared. So we're gonna get ready to wrap up. Got any questions for Jimmy? Anything for me? Anything for Ashley?
Drop them in the chat.
Drop them in the chat. Let's talk about it.
If you have not gotten your tickets yet for the conference, go ahead and get your tickets. We are raffling off a ticket. Derek is actually
Mr. Derek Gooden is doing a raffle on December 15th for everybody that enters into our free group REI Decoded will get entered into the raffle to get a free ticket for the conference. So make sure you go join the group. The group is absolutely free. We're going to be sharing these podcasts in the group so that you can go back and watch them. Make sure you get in the group so you can ask questions. Mr. Jimmy's in the group. You can ask him questions. Whatever you need, get in the group so that you can start getting around like-minded people to continue to overcome those fears. I'm not going to tell you you're never going to have fear. That's that.
I think anything you start should have some kind of fear with it. If you don't have fear, then you're crazy. But you should
The fear is the respect factor.
Yeah.
I'm scared of it. You got to respect what you're doing and know, okay, there's levels to this thing. Most people want with instant gratification. They don't work like that.
It doesn't work like that.
Give some work. You gotta have sleepless nights, but don't let the plan be in the forefront of your mind.
That's right.
Yes,
that's right.
You gotta want more for yourself. You gotta have a why. We'll talk more about that during the other podcasts. But it's bigger than you, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
It's bigger than you. Jimmy said this earlier, and I wanted to stop him, but I didn't want to stop him at the same time. And he was like, I want to be the first millionaire in my family.
In my family.
And that means something, y'all.
Yep.
That means something. That it not only means that you're gonna do it, but it means it's gonna be some ups and downs. It's gonna be some roller coaster. It's gonna be some scars. It's gonna be some nights where you want to quit.
Too much is given.
Much is required, baby. I'm telling y'all. So you have these goals, you have these visions, and just conquer them.
And know that you don't have them for no reason. Like you have them because you're meant to do them. You're meant to fulfill it. So don't just let it go by and say, I wish I should have, could have, did it then. No, do it now. Do it while you're afraid. Do it while you're scared. Do it while you're broke. Do it while you have 5 kids. Do it while everything is going on that's not supposed to go on.
It's never going to be perfect.
The stars will never line up right. I'm gonna wait about 6 months. Let me get this in order. Those are excuses.
Ooh, you're hitting like that, Ashley.
I mean, seriously, those are excuses.
Ooh, those are excuses.
Those are excuses. Do it today. Do it now.
Ooh, all right. Let's give last call for any questions.
Let's see.
Any comments? Just do it.
That's
do it
right.
Afraid. That's our super families. They hear this all the time. They hear this all the time. So
they got the juice now.
They got it, baby. And we doing it afraid. We doing it scared, and we push it through. We are getting as much information as possible. That kind of helps with the fear is by gathering information and having someone to lean on. but it's gonna always be there.
Mhm.
It's gonna always be there. So join the group, REID coded, get into a chance to win a free conference ticket. Conference is January 12th and 13th.
Courtesy of the Gooden Home Inspections, Derek Gooden will be giving this out on his own. This is something that he wants to do. He's giving it away. So, hey, make sure you join the group. It's absolutely free. And I know Tonio talked about it, but it's really to foster a community to where you are working with each other, you're helping each other, you're growing, you're learning, you are getting rid of those myths. Like Jimmy said, oh, you don't want to do that. You don't want to rent out your houses. They're going to do it bad. Okay, yeah, some people may. I've rented quite a few houses. Some people did tear it up and it was trash. But let's talk about the people who did good. Let's talk about the people who purchased after renting. Like, let's talk about the good.
Experience is not going to be mine.
Yep.
Facts.
So one thing we haven't done is we haven't told what our speakers are going to be speaking about. Who we got coming?
Okay, let's talk about it. All right, the Nicole Ambrose is coming from Atlanta. Nicole, if you ever experienced her, she came to REI Live about a year and a half ago, I think it was, and really taught our agents, our investors, how they can get deals. And I told her, you know what? I need you to talk about this market because everybody says the inventory is low. Everybody says there's no houses. I can't find any deals. Like, how do you find deals? How do you find it for one as a realtor? How do you find it for two as an investor? Like, how do we find deals so that we can continue investing in real estate? And she says, sis, that's not a problem. I'm in there. You let me know what you want and I'm in there. Nicole doesn't hold anything back. When I tell you Nicole shares everything, and when you pull off to the side, she gonna share a little bit more. So Nicole Ambrose is gonna be teaching how to find deals in this market. She told us about micro farming. Remember, she told us about micro farming, and literally we went out and started micro farming. We walked the whole area of Forestdale, the whole area of Forestdale. We probably passed out about 180 to 100 door hangers. And guess what? Yasmin got invited to, what was that, Yasmin?
The city meet. What it was?
Neighborhood.
A neighborhood city meeting where they were talking about houses that were going up for sale that people were investing in. Like, you gotta really, it's not gonna come to you. But Nicole shared that one, and she shared a whole bunch, but that one gem was amazing. So we got Nicole, we got Derek. Derek is gonna do our property walkthrough. He's gonna show us what absolutely needs to be repaired, what doesn't need to be repaired from a safety standpoint. You gonna say something? From a safety standpoint, what are inspectors looking at before you put it back on the market? What are they looking at? What are they going to show the end buyer that the end buyer could be nervous about when it comes to a home inspection? So getting that inspection early, but understanding how to make your sale even that much greater because you've already taken care of those safety issues and those things from the home inspection side. Darius came last January. All right. Darius Benders came last January. He's coming back this January. He's coming back. So a lot of my students, after Darius left, they realized, okay, well, I can take these credit cards and I can turn these credit cards into cash. And Darius talked about using plastique.
Dope.
So after the conference last year, they started using plastique and they started buying houses on credit cards. So y'all like, how are they buying houses on credit card? They're implementing what Darius taught them in the last conference. But guess what? Darius got a whole new lineup for us this time.
Let's go.
He got a whole new lineup of how we get business funding, how we're going to structure that business so that you can get immediate funding leaving the conference. All right. Ramon Tubes. Ramon is going to teach us about how to put it all together, how to really start putting it all together when it comes to investing in real estate, when it comes to doing deals, putting the funding, finding the deal, putting it all together so that you can really get off the sideline and get into the game. Ryan, who told me this weekend, don't put Rowdy. So I mean, don't put Ryan because Ryan's not coming. Rowdy is coming.
Let's go.
Rowdy is coming to break it down when it comes to rehabs and construction. When I tell you there is no other person that I would want to lead my rehab construction other than Rowdy. Rowdy is our mentor. Rowdy is our coach. And when I tell you he is the beast from starting off from changing doorknobs to literally leading when it comes to real estate and construction, leading how you can manage it better, understanding it from a contractor standpoint and an investor side. He gives you the best of both worlds. So Rowdy is going to be in the place doing what he does, making it rowdy. And that's the Simple Sexy Flipping Conference, y'all.
Let's go. Get in the room. I'm telling y'all now, it sells out every time.
Absolutely.
It's up to you to make a decision, to take some action. It's gonna happen regardless.
Absolutely. So I'm excited. I thank you, Jimmy.
Thank you, Mr. Shallow.
I thank you so much.
I'll give Mr. Shallow some
give him
some hand claps in the chat. If he bless you.
And I'll say, share this with anyone. Tag someone that you think needs to see this, that they're afraid. They're saying, you know what? I'm not from the United States, so I can't do it. I don't have the funds, so I can't do it.
I had a divorce.
I had a divorce, so I can't do it. I don't know enough people right here, right now. I can't do it. I don't know enough. Tag them in and tell them to go watch it and help them get off the sideline and get into the game.
What you gonna do with this property, Jimmy? I know we finna go. What you gonna do with this property, Jimmy?
Well, this is perfect for midterm, short-term rental because of location. And when I get done jazzing it up,
it's gonna be nice.
It's gonna be super nice.
Let's go.
We're doing midterm rental on this one.
Okay, and if you don't know what midterm rentals are, send me a DM on Facebook. And my guy Avi did a training on midterm rentals, and I can send that over to you free of charge. Just send me a DM. I am X Flipper on Facebook
or Ashley Denmark.
And I can see the training on midterm rentals, y'all. It was an amazing training. I didn't even know it was called midterm rentals, but
we always just considered all of it to be Airbnb.
Yes, but there's a difference between Airbnb and midterm rental. Big difference.
Yes.
So if you don't know what a midterm rental is, send me a link and
send us a DM.
Send us a DM.
Now give him some time because that was totally off the wall. And Yasmin over here like, okay, well let me go get that together.
but
you'll definitely get
it. It's a great strategy. It's a great exit strategy, and you will really enjoy it.
Absolutely. All right.
Anything before you want to go, Jim? Anything you got to?
Well, like we started out saying, man, you got to get off the sidewalk, people. If I can advise you to do anything, if you're interested in this, it's gonna take some work. We already know to whom much is given, much is required. So you can't come in here and expect the damn mouse to do everything for you.
You gotta put in some work.
You got to put in some work. You gotta have one of the T's or all 3 T's or 2 of the T's.
What's the T's?
What's the T's?
Oh, give it to him.
Time, talent, and treasure. You gotta have. In my case, I had 2 of them because I didn't have no treasure, but I got time and talent. I'll make time because this is what I want to do. So don't be afraid, y'all. Get up off your ass. Get in the game.
Get in the game.
Get in the game. Let's go. Thank y'all for coming to our Fearless Investing Podcast Series kickoff.
We'll be here tomorrow.
What time?
1 p.m. Central Standard Time. We're gonna have Stan McDonald with Jacob Title, and we're gonna be talking about some fears when it comes to investing in real estate and starting that title company that he started, an investor-friendly title company.
Let's go.
So I'm excited. I love you guys. Have an amazing.
This is a fear I've heard before. What if I buy this house and it has liens? What do I do then?
We're gonna talk about it tomorrow.
Right.
Peace.
Yo.
Yo, what's going on? What's going on? Listen, it's Keith Everett, Real Estate Diddy. I'm right here at the Simple, Sexy Flipping Conference. I gave 10 ways on how to find off-market properties. If you're somebody trying to learn how to use the bank, find private money lenders, and knowing how you can fund the properties, you need to be here.
I would definitely recommend this event to anybody, especially if you're looking to get started in this business, because sometimes you just don't know where to go, and sometimes you don't know how to get started, and sometimes it could be the reverse. You got the motivation, but you don't have the education, or you have the education, you don't have the motivation. So sometimes it's being in certain rooms with certain people that'll kind of uplift you or inspire you or get you moving, get you thinking. But more importantly, this is the kind of room you want to be in, especially if you're a newbie.